Nearly a decade ago, a man's fantasy became reality in a form never seen before. Kitchen Stadium, a giant cooking arena. The motivation for spending his fortune to create Kitchen Stadium was to encounter new original cuisines, which could be called true artistic creations. To realize his dream, he started choosing the top chefs of various styles of cooking. And he named his men the Iron Chefs, the invincible men of culinary skills. Iron Chef Japanese is Rokusaburo Michiba. Iron Chef French is Hiroyuki Sakai. Iron Chef Chinese is Chen Kenichi. And Masahiko Kobe is Iron Chef Italian. Kitchen Stadium is the arena where Iron Chefs await the challenges of master chefs from all over the world. Both the Iron Chef and Challenger have 1 hour to tackle the theme ingredient of the day. Using all their senses, skills, creativity, they're to prepare artistic dishes never tasted before. And if ever a challenger wins over the Iron Chef, he or she will gain the people's ovation and fame forever. Every battle, reputations are on the line in Kitchen Stadium, where master chefs pit their artistic creations against each other. What inspiration will today's challenger bring? And how will the Iron Chef fight back? The heat will be on!
If my memory serves me correctly, the biggest chefs association here in Japan goes under the name the Japanese Cuisine Seminar Group. It has quite a long tradition, established as it was in 1930, and it was founded for a particular reason. Back then, there were a few select chefs who were known for their knife work and their seasoning techniques, and the mission of this group was to preserve such intangible treasure so that younger chefs might inherit those skills. When it was formed, there were only 200 chefs, but now membership has grown to over 20,000. And the man who is at the head of these 20,000-odd chefs is, of course, my very own Rokusaburo Michiba. His official title is Maestro, which is only rewarded to chefs with over 30 years of experience and outstanding reputation. This time, a man who is also certified Maestro of the association has decided he wants to challenge my Michiba. He is the master chef of Sawadaya, Kuniyuki Ishikawa. Michiba and Ishikawa, they are both maestros and of course know each other, but their cooking philosophies are completely different. For example, Michiba is a bit of a darling of the media, while Ishikawa has always followed his belief that chefs have to stay behind the scenes.
You don't have to have a big name or be treated like some kind of a star to be a great chef. And that's my belief here.
So these two are like chalk and cheese. It's going to be an interesting battle. Kuniyuki Ishikawa. He stepped into the world of cooking at the age of 15. And as young as 29, he was appointed head chef of a high-class restaurant in Yotsuya. Then, at just 45, he certified for Maestro of the association. As a result, the following year, at 46, he was scouted as head chef of Sawadaya in Omori. Sawadaya has a 120-year history. It has attracted many former prime ministers and other people of high rank.
As a professional, you can't say that you're good at this, but not good at that. You have to strive for perfection all of the time.
Ishikawa's dishes are like works of art, and the seasonal aspect of his cuisine adds to its perfection, in no way lagging behind Michiba's creations. Now, Ishikawa, step out into the light for the first time and show us your highly respected skills.
I've made the decision to do this, so I'd like to get a win against Michiba-san.
I think he knows more theory than I do, so I'd have to rely on my intuition. Well, let's just do it.
And once again, our challenger today, a chef of great caliber. We are in store for what should be another fierce battle. And joining us for today, actress Ritsuko Tanaka.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Tanaka-san, do you do much cooking?
Yes, I do.
You do?
Yes, I'm an outdoor kind of cook. I love cooking outside when I go camping, cooking there in the fresh air.
You love to cook. Somehow I thought it'd be the opposite.
Really?
Sorry there. Thanks for coming in.
I'm thrilled to be here.
And if you have any questions about things, Dr. Hattori will gladly answer them.
Great, that's right.
I'm the answer guy.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, time now to bring them on, Chairman Kaga.
日本料理研究会、その最大にして最古の団体に私はかねてから興味を持っていました。その2万人の頂点に立つ男が我が美食アカデミーの鉄人道場六三郎であります。そして今回その道場と同じく名誉ある師範の称号を持つ男がやってまいりました。もし私が道場と出会わずに彼と出会っていたなら今頃このパネルに収まっていたかもしれません。さあ皆さん大きな拍手でお迎えください。日本料理研究会師範石川邦之。
And entering the stadium, Michiba's equal in the seminar group. He too a maestro of Japanese cuisine, Ishikawa, clad in traditional attire. The spotlight's on him today.
道場を用とするならあなたは陰かもしれません。華やかな料理界で裏方で黒子として徹してきたそのプライドを今日は存分に発揮してください。それでは例によって我が美食アカデミーが誇る3人の鉄人を登場させましょう。よみがえるがいいアイアンシェフ。
Making their ascent and assuming their rightful places in Kitchen Stadium, legends in their own right, men who've laid down their knives on this battlefield of cooking. Now coming to life, your Iron Chefs. Iron Chef Chinese Chen Kenichi, Iron Chef French Hiroyuki Sakai, and Iron Chef Japanese Rokusaburo Michiba. Here they stand, the invincible men of culinary skills.
今さら聞くまでもないことかもしれませんが一応お聞きします。さあ誰と戦う？
Michiba Rokusaburo.
You got it! Iron Chef Japanese Michiba. Ishikawa calling out his seminar group maestro peer. Rokusaburo Michiba has always been adventurous, using unlikely ingredients, incorporating them into Japanese cuisine. And his aggressive approach has given rise to creative recipes that are now considered standard. But today is one of the toughest challenges he's ever faced.
今回のような大物同士のぶつかり合いに下手な小細工は必要ありません。1時間という時間を粘り強く戦うのみ。そう考えた時私はひらめいたのです。和食で粘りといえばあれしかありません。それでは発表します。今日のテーマはこれです。今日のテーマは納豆。
Natto. If my memory serves me correctly, back in the Edo period, there was a saying about this ingredient that went like this. Stir it up 15 times. This means if you whisk the fermented beans some 15 times, little threads will form around them, and these enhance the flavor, it's said. But if you stir more than 15 times, the threads turn into bubbles, and that spoils the delicate taste. And of course, after stirring the beans appropriately, you add soy sauce. So let me repeat that once again. Make sure you stir it up 15 times.
A pair of Japanese cuisine masters, both maestros of the biggest chefs association, Challenger Ishikawa normally shunning the spotlight, battling Iron Chef Michiba, 20,000 chefs and a nation watching with Natto as the theme. Let's get it on!
Ara cuisine!
Bang a gong, we are on. The Natto Battle beginning.
Wow, it's exciting.
This battle today, one
Natto.
maestro trying to knock off the other.
This is great.
Yes, and Doc, would it be correct to say that through this battle we'll be able to explore the depths of Japanese cuisine with Natto the theme and all?
Oh, definitely. I'm so excited to be a part of this one.
Me too.
And up at the stand, two types of natto, which are fermented
Just
soybeans.
scooping them up there takes up a lot of time, doesn't it?
Yes, and Tanaka-san, what dishes would you expect?
No idea. I usually only eat it on steamed rice,
Yes.
you know, with soy sauce on top. Maybe they'll mix it into a dressing.
Dressing.
You know, sometimes at sushi bars, it's common to roll them up.
All right, and here he goes.
Okay, oh yeah.
Rokusaburo Michiba, menu writing time. That's what he always takes care of first before he sets out to do any cooking. And the first one now is, what's he drawing here? This is natto a la carte? Not quite, huh?
No, it says a mini full-course natto dinner.
Ooh, sounds great.
Mini full course.
But a dinner course using natto.
Hey, look here.
Oh, okay.
Ishikawa is going to do the same thing, also calligraphy style.
Wow.
There's no hard rule in Japanese cooking that chefs have to do this, right?
No, it's not a rule, but it's kind of customary for Japanese chefs to do that.
Really?
But it's actually unusual to do it when you're so pressed for time. But this is very, very interesting to see both of them do that.
All right, so both chefs, and there you can see Ishikawa's just a bit faster with his writing. So they haven't taken up their knives yet, just their brushes.
Yeah.
And now here is, I can make this abalone steamed in sake.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, and there, whoops, could be leaking info to the other side, Michiba. Don't want to be doing that. That wouldn't be too cool.
Yeah, no kidding.
Anyway, Tanaka-san, you know, have to tell you, it's not a usual occurrence. In fact, this is the first calligraphy contest we've had.
Very cool. I love it.
And how about doing this in the kitchen at home?
Well, you know, I might actually think about it. It's not a bad
All right,
idea.
now here's the Iron Chef menu items for the mini full course.
One says confection.
Confection.
Yeah.
Sweets
Okay,
with natto.
1, 2, 3, how many there? Okay, can't
is
see
it?
the whole sheet.
Yeah, let's see. It's at least 3.
Okay, well, for a formal Japanese dinner, you'd have to have a minimum of 5.
Yeah, you're right. So 5.
Okay.
Maybe that's what he's got
All
there.
right, and 5 dishes now. Ishikawa, and can't read it upside. Okay, there we go. And Japanese beef.
Yeah, I think you're
Wow,
right.
how decadent.
So that's Japanese beef with...
Natto flavored soy
Yes,
sauce.
all right. And another Michiba trademark, his renowned broth of vigor on the way.
And look at the load of dried bonito he's
Sets
got
out that way every battle. Write the menu, make the broth of vigor, and continuing to pile on,
like a
pile in the
mountain,
dried
so
beneath those
much.
shavings.
Yeah, you know, chopsticks should be able to stand upright in that. That's the main key.
Believe that. Wow.
Very simple looking it is, but he's got his own formula for that, developed over experimentation during his career. Now over to Ishikawa's side.
Rinsing the natto.
Yes, rinsing the
Hot
natto.
water, is it? Looks
And
like
the
it.
reason for that?
He's just trying to get rid of the sticky strings.
Oh, for
Yeah.
that, right.
Okay, so the string's got to go. Shinichiro Ota, go ahead.
You notice that the Iron Chef is planning 5 dishes. I've just confirmed that the Challenger has 5 listed on his menu as well.
Okay, 5 on 5, thanks.
All right, it's the Natto Battle, but coincidence battle,
These
basically.
2 even Stevens so far.
Okay, we've got the Iron Chef filleting
Okay,
the flatfish here.
Michiba prep work here with the flatfish.
Yeah, and pulling the skin off using the knife there.
That's how
On the
you
other
do
hand,
it.
yeah.
Oh, he's
Okay,
doing
now
it
look at
too
this.
over there.
Oh.
His broth making too, and a ton dropped
15
in.
minutes have elapsed.
No, he's actually maybe got a little more than Michiba there.
Ishikawa with
What-
more, maybe?
What's the point there?
Make it better?
I just saw him add an extra scoop, so I don't know.
All right, his mountain, but not dissolving there.
I think Michiba-san's hearing us here.
He got a grin on his face there.
Knows he's one
He
scoop
does, he's
behind.
being watched.
He might be
Maybe I'll
adding
add
some more later,
yeah.
though.
All right,
Can you
not
hear
going to
him?
let Ishikawa get the better of him in the broth department, and now apparently curing the flatfish with kelp.
Kuzan.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I just received word that the Iron Chef is about to unveil and use something interesting on this site, udon noodles.
Ah, udon noodles.
Okay.
That's
Oh,
right.
I wonder.
Michiba with some udon noodles.
So
Wow.
handmade udon noodles, and they would be dried, though. of
Steamer
course.
lid lifted here.
Steaming what is
This
that?
is on Ishikawa's side, some fish that's been
Oh,
steamed.
what is that?
Sardines, I think.
Okay.
Steaming sardines, huh?
And it appears they've gone back in the steamer. Also has another fish, a tilefish, a kind of snapper on the cutting board.
Now, that's the one that's normally steamed in Japanese cooking.
Okay, both sides, a good pace going now. And here, Michiba, some natto in the food processor.
In the food processor.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Fukusan?
Take it.
Yeah, I asked Michiba-san what he thinks about the challenger, who, to my eyes at least, so far has mirrored the Iron Chef in many ways. And he said, well, he chose me, so I guess he's done his homework studying me, studying my style. But then he added, but he didn't learn everything because I wish he'd learn how to smile more. Back to you.
Learn how to smile. I love it.
All right, thanks. Doesn't look like the challenger's paying any heed to that right there.
Kidding.
But, hey, if it is his name called out come verdict time, I'm sure we'll see an ear-to-ear from the man there. And cutting up that tile fish. Now here's the Iron Chef, the udon noodles, right?
Yeah, you are correct.
Just now getting dumped into a deep pot of boiling water. And over by the food processor now, whirring away, contents being blended. Don't know what is in the food processor right now.
I believe it's just natto.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Have to check on that.
Fukusan?
You got it?
Yeah, in his blender, he's added natto to his famous broth of vigor.
Broth of
okay.
vigor.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Now here's the challenger.
Foie gras.
The challenger has foie gras.
Broken out the foie gras and cutting some healthy size pieces there.
Wow, you're right.
Come now, why is he going with foie gras for Japanese dishes?
Fukusan?
You got it?
In his blender, he's added natto to his famous broth of vigor.
That broth of vigor.
See?
All right, now here's the challenger.
Ooh, look, foie gras over there.
Broken out the foie gras,
Okay.
cutting some healthy size pieces there too. Now, but come now, why is he going with foie gras for Japanese dishes?
You know, that's a good question, but I'm going to dodge that one. And just if you notice, he just put some kudzu starch in there.
Okay, on the Iron Chef side.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I see.
So that's broth, natto, and starch
Okay,
so far.
natto and kudzu
So
starch.
this must be the confection, the dessert.
You know, hang on. It might not be. This could be the sakizuke.
Sakizuke?
Yeah, well, it's actually a formal term for hors d'oeuvre in Japanese
All right.
So
cooking.
this
Thank
is
you
for an
very much.
appetizer then.
So he probably added starch to make it a jelly of some sort.
Oh, like a
yeah.
gelatin.
Okay, to solidify it.
Yeah, and I think he'll probably
Now-
steam it.
What's this?
Yuba.
Bean curd for wrapping.
Yeah, for wrapping the tile fish.
But no natto to be found here.
I'm sure he'll be adding it somewhere down the
Okay,
line.
somehow, some way he'll have to,
Yeah.
and an elaborate way here of sprinkling some salt on. Michiba now, the processed concoction.
Yeah, the natto and starch mix.
It's interesting. What's he up to with this?
He's going to heat it up on the hot water.
Oh, okay, look.
Wow.
Yeah, right.
So I mentioned that he would steam it, right? But I think he's going to do it this
All
way
right,
instead.
but this will do the
Fukusan.
job. Yes,
Yeah,
go ahead.
Shocking news from the challenger's side. The challenger ordered one of his assistants to steam some clams, but apparently the assistant made a mistake and instead steamed the sardines that he was planning to make meat fish balls out of, and now the challenger doesn't know what he's going to do.
How awful.
Okay, so that's what we were
Goodness,
watching
what a
earlier. I was wondering
shame.
why he had to steam some fish.
Terrible miscommunication, wrong item steamed.
Boy, that's going to hurt.
Supposed to
Yeah,
steam the
and the assistant was
clams.
supposed to steam the sardines.
Maybe should have
or-
wrote that down.
Yeah, I feel sorry for him.
Hope it's not a fatal error.
And Fukusan?
Yes.
Now bad news from Iron Chef Michiba's side. He seems to have cut his finger while handling some lobsters with his bare hands, and he is bleeding a little.
Oh, so it was
My
blood.
goodness,
I was
get a
wondering.
Band-Aid on that.
Yeah, you're kidding.
Now, wait a minute. I wonder if this is okay like this. I mean, he might have to add or do something to it,
Yeah,
right?
look at that. Is that now a scratch? Are they going to use that? Or are they going to bail? Anyway, both chefs now have hit some bumps in the road. The sardines steamed by mistake. Can't make meatballs out of them now. What do you do with them?
I know, no
Yeah.
kidding.
How about just going for it the way it's turned out and hope for the best?
Well, in a way, could be an opportunity, a chance for him to show how to cope with a mini disaster. We'll see if he's able to come up with a plan B for the sardines. And now, Michiba,
Yeah, the Iron Chef here. I think an omelet is what he's
okay,
making.
natto omelet. That'll get your day started, right?
30 minutes have
30 minutes
elapsed.
gone,
Wow,
30
that
minutes
was
to go.
fast.
Gone quickly, the
Yeah.
first 30. And now just into the second half of a one-on-one natto battle.
Yep, the natto battle.
And here it comes. Here's the natto.
Swinging back to this, not an omelet anymore in the conventional sense, but boy, we can catch a whiff of it up here.
And the butter, too.
Smelling quite good, too.
And he's got kelp, it looks like.
Challenger
seaweed.
Ishikawa on top of the bean curd sheets. It's kelp, and I guess he'll, the tile fish
yeah.
on there.
Yeah, that's what we thought.
And What about...
Going on top.
Yeah,
It's
he's
going on
going on
top.
top, yeah. So, you know, you don't even need me anymore. You guys are covering for me.
line stab there, and also foie gras.
Interesting. Look at
Well,
that.
he's got...
Wow.
Oh, you're right. Okay.
What a pile, and Natto's going to have to get in there somehow, too.
And, you know, he'll probably add some sweet and sour sauce with natto in it at the very end of this, I imagine.
So, a sauce to sort of pour over this.
Exactly, yeah, natto flavored
Okay,
sauce.
now that's something I'd have never gotten.
Oh, look at that. The Iron Chef
Okay,
is...
an omelet rice it's going to
So
be.
wait, it's not a real omelet.
Not per se, but kind of a type of omelet.
This was on the menu.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, not in, he's shaping it.
He's putting it in a cup like that to
Okay.
shape it, right?
You- Yes, that's what he could be doing that for. And now here, Ishikawa, and there's the beef.
Oh, look
Does
at
that
that.
look
That's
good?
absolutely top quality.
I can't wait to eat it.
The marble domestic
Yeah.
variety.
Yeah, if you look at the perfect marble pattern on that too, the thin lines of fat, it's just absolutely ideal.
All right, now on the other side, look what Michiba's broken out.
Oh, he's got sea urchin roll.
Sea urchin, I love
Right on top there.
This is what he had in mind. Okay, this is not something you'd want to try at home.
No, that's meaning only the pro chefs try to pull something like this.
Exactly, and you know, in marketing terminology, he can add some value to the dishes this way, and that's kind of his trademark. He's great at that.
Wow. But you know, at home you might make the omelet, but that's it. You'd never
Right.
go this far. I mean, it looks okay for one full dinner item.
Exactly,
you know?
definitely.
But he puts the sea urchin on it.
Well, a
It's
value
incredible.
enhancer, but they're free here.
Yeah.
Really? Oh, look, the meat.
Barbecuing the beef, fixed in skewers, hand-held over a gas grill, and look at that fat dissolve.
Yeah, that's the first step right now.
But after this, now, it'll be interesting to see what kind of sauce he comes up for this, incorporating natto.
Very good point. Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
I bring this up because I'm kind of a stickler myself when it comes to steak sauce for meat, especially when you've got great beef.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I mean, steak sauce with the natto flavor, I don't know.
Soy sauce and natto sauce, he said, right?
All right, now he's icing it down.
Yeah, definitely.
Will not be served warm.
It's going to be like a sashimi.
Oh, right, okay. With the surface grilled.
Right. Chill the meat and then pour the sauce over it.
Sounds really nice.
Right, but the inside will be rare.
Exactly.
Very rare. And now they're pouring some soy sauce into the bowl
Okay. Oh, you see that?
Yeah.
for making the sauce.
So
Soy sauce.
soy and natto, right?
Right,
Yes.
Just like they said, and the yuba wrapping, kelp, tilefish, foie gras, getting the steam treatment, not going to be fried.
Right. Exactly. He's steaming it right now.
Seems in a bit of a scramble over there.
Now, if we check out the Iron Chef, he's got something floury
Now,
here.
did you catch this one?
Cornstarch and something else went in there, but I couldn't
Perhaps
see.
natto?
Maybe. It could be natto.
Okay, hey,
cornstarch.
I think I got it.
What's that?
This might be for dessert.
You sure on that?
You positive about that?
I'm pretty sure.
Fukusan?
Yes.
I've got that. The Iron Chef has shiratama flour here, a Japanese glutinous rice flour used for confections and natto.
Rice flour. Okay.
Oh, wow.
And I say that he'll fry this.
Like rice crackers, you think?
Oh, with sesame seeds.
Yeah,
okay.
covered with sesame seeds. Fried then. Okay.
Well, I'm not sure about the frying
No?
I
part.
say you'll fry, trust me.
Yeah,
Yeah, well,
okay.
it could definitely be, but
You
we'll
know,
have to
like
wait and see.
those Chinese sesame seed dumplings,
Exactly.
maybe? Fried?
Thanks for the support.
Okay, well, let's just forget that one. Let's take a look at let's take a look at the challenger.
Okay. Yam.
yeah,
Yes,
right,
yam in
Yam
hand.
potatoes.
Something wrapped and slipped aside there.
I think that's for frying together. Yeah.
Natto and ham together.
Yeah, yam. So this you'll fry.
This he'll fry. Yes.
Okay.
20
Positive?
minutes
Oh, yeah,
to go.
definitely.
All right, now we're inside the 20-minute mark. Less than 20 minutes left in the battle.
Already 20 minutes?
And the chefs heard that too. They know what they've got to do. So far, both appear to be in control. No signs of clock mismanagement, although Ishikawa's side did have that mistake earlier. And Michiba, he's been smiling a lot today.
Yeah, he's enjoying this, I think.
In his element, crunch time in Kitchen Stadium. Now over to the challenger.
All right.
Okay, frying it.
Yep,
Here we go.
okay.
Deep fried treatment.
And again, yam potatoes and natto.
But it hasn't started off with that usual kerplunk and sizzle we associate with deep frying.
Now the temperature seems to be a bit low,
It
though,
does.
so he's probably planning to let the heat penetrate right to the core.
What about the oil?
Well, you know, if it's too low, the pieces may fall apart. So it's very delicate.
Oh, I see.
Yes. All right, now Michiba, patent it to flatten it
Flattening it down.
with the sesame seed coating.
Well, I was expecting dumplings.
Well, that's what you
remember?
said, yeah.
It almost looks like mochi, like pounded rice, right?
Fukusan!
Yes.
Yeah, I talked with the challenger a moment ago, and he confessed to me that he was very pressed for time. He was much more serious than usual when he said, "I'm not sure if I'm going to make it."
All right, thanks, Ota. That's par for the course, though. So often the challengers here for the first time, and they all say how the time flies, and Ishikawa finally working with the clams there.
Yeah, you remember he wrote down something like, what was it, clam stuffed with
Yes.
something. So I think he'll stuff these with natto.
Inside these?
Oh.
Stuffing these little clams?
I believe so. I think that's a possibility anyway.
I think you're right. Look, just watch. See what he's doing there?
Oh, okay, yeah.
All right, yeah, look at that.
There we go.
Yes,
All right,
you got it.
Wow,
Right.
yep.
Another good call, right on top of that one, Dr. Hattori. Stuffing these little clams?
That's definitely a possibility, yeah.
Oh, I think you're right. See? Look at that.
Okay, yeah.
Yep, mm-hmm.
Okay.
That,
Sure
think
enough,
so.
uh-huh.
Called it. Okay.
Doc, you got it.
Yeah, I did.
Another good call right on top of that, Dr. Hattori.
Now, you'll notice the Iron Chef has fried that piece that he had there.
Yes.
So that's, Tanaka-san called it.
Mm-hmm. Bullseye fried. Kusan fried.
Well, I was half
Not
right.
as a dumpling, you
It's
know.
almost like a rice cracker.
Natto senbei.
Exactly. Very
And you can see
interesting.
the difference in the deep frying. Michiba's senbei, and now Ishikawa with his clams there.
Okay. Oh, look at that. That would be
This is the stuffed one.
The stuffed ones, yeah.
Stuffed with natto.
Okay, now if we can move over to the Iron Chef side here.
All right, there it is.
There, he's rolling up the natto with yuba.
Okay, he'll have a yuba wrap roll of his own.
So the next step in this would be to fry it, perhaps?
Oh, fry it.
It looks like it's for frying.
Yeah, could be.
But aren't they a bit too small there?
I know what you're saying, yeah. They are looking a little
Yeah,
tiny there.
a wee bit small. And now on the challenger side, and speaking of the yuba wrapping, there is his. Spoke earlier that he would have a sauce for that.
Yes, he will.
Okay, and he'd somehow have to have natto in the sauce or dipping sauce. Is this it?
Well, isn't this usually served with grated daikon radish?
Oh, right, the grated daikon.
I'm not 100% sure,
I
but
was
it, I mean,
wondering.
it certainly
Yeah.
looks good with it.
So this to go with the yuba rolls,
10
perhaps?
minutes to go.
Yeah, it could be the sauce.
All right, 10 minutes left now. Challenger is really getting into the sauces with this theme. Both chefs wrote out their menus at the beginning of the battle. Both had 5 dishes. Michiba with his mini full course of natto-themed dishes. But Ishikawa might have to ditch one dish here.
Now, the Iron Chef is about to finish up with his flatfish.
Okay, flatfish there with some scallions that have been added.
Right.
And now what's he doing?
Oh, okay, I see.
That's going to go inside.
All right, that's why they were made small size.
Yeah, he needs to do that to prevent the ingredients from dropping.
Okay.
Okay.
And look how he's rolling that up.
Oh, isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty
That's a lot of
good.
talent.
Not easy to do.
Okay, now back with Ishikawa, and here's the beef again.
It's looking so good.
Slicing that up.
Tataki-style sashimi.
Yeah.
Nice
Yes.
appetizing slices of tataki, sashimi style beef on its own. The beef very mouth-watering, but I'm still waiting to find out what he's going to have exactly in the accompanying sauce, which will have natto in it. And now Michiba, with the one he made in the early going
Yeah,
here.
the kudzu starch.
Kudzu starch and natto.
Right, yeah.
And broth, don't forget, mixed in.
Yeah, you know, I might try this one myself. It's broth, natto, and kudzu starch, and that's it, right?
Sounds simple enough.
Yeah.
And he is cutting that up. And now back to Ishikawa. Might this be the sauce for the beef?
I think you're right, yeah.
All right, and something is being added to it right there.
There
Natto?
has to be something added to that. Could
Wasn't
be
that
sticky.
not just regular soy sauce?
Natto soy sauce, how's that?
Okay, now here it is again.
So this is
one
the
with
one
the-
with the daikon, right?
Right,
Yeah,
uh-huh.
okay. And he did pour a sweet and sour sauce over it, right?
Right, that's over the yuba roll. And
Okay.
now what's happening with Michiba?
Well, we were saying he'd steam it, but I think we're wrong.
Just as is.
Yeah, it's an as-is
Right.
item. All
But
right.
the visual appeal of that, wow.
Yeah, you can learn so much just by watching these guys. They're just such professionals at this.
Ditto that for me. Anytime we see Michiba in action here, we're sure to learn something new, a thing or two about our own native cuisine. And that one that he's got, his right there, the umi top natto omelet rice. There's so much going on with his dishes, it's sometimes hard just to describe them at times.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I know what you're saying on that one.
And now here's his confection.
Oh, the dessert.
And it is done putting that one down.
Oh, I see now.
And it'll have a natto flavor to it.
And you know, he's even got it shaped
3
perfectly, you know?
minutes to go.
All right, 3 minutes left. The challenger's a maestro of Japanese cuisine, but he's never been in this position before. Can he complete all his cooking in the remaining time? Michiba himself on the other side, a maestro in the same 20,000 strong group. All the member chefs across the country watching this, watching to see which man, which maestro can maneuver through the sticky wicket of natto to victory.
Now, this is the Iron Chef side, right?
Right, right.
What is he doing?
He's only got a few minutes. Oh, okay. I know. I
What?
know. It's the sauce for the handmade udon noodles that we saw earlier.
That's it.
Okay, a dipping
isn't
sauce
that
for the
miso?
noodles. Miso and natto for the dip?
And noodle dip mixed in.
A dip for cold noodles.
Exactly.
All right. And now the challenger with the finishing touches, plating work, very stoic. The demeanor today hasn't cracked a smile at all. The expression reminds one of a samurai character from an earlier era. Now, is he finished with all his dishes? Does he have 5? From the shot we got, he couldn't quite make that out.
1 minute to go.
And now down to a minute to go, the final 60 seconds. Natto the theme. There's the Iron Chef's uni-topped omelet with lobster to garnish. The challenger, Ishikawa, regarded as Michiba's equal in the association.
The appetizer.
Okay.
That's the kudzu and natto.
Natto flavored gelatin.
Like. Yeah.
Have to wait and see what you and the other tasters say about it. At any rate, what a battle today.
And if I can mention one last thing here.
Yes.
Just what happened to those sardines that the challenger had?
Haven't seen a sardine dish over there.
Yeah. I guess maybe he dropped it.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, the sardines that you're talking about, he said he tried to salvage that dish in some shape or form, but unfortunately did not succeed and had to give up on it.
Plan B
that's too
failing.
bad.
You'll have to make do with one less dish and hope for the best. That mistake ending up to be a costly one. Now the Iron Chef's cold udon noodles, getting those out and down into the bowls. Challenger side
10
more
seconds
unloading
to
a
go.
thin sauce there. On one level, it might be a battle of sauces with natto. A
5
very rich and
seconds.
creamy sauce for
3,
Michiba's noodles.
2,
Maestro versus
1.
Maestro, the final seconds, and that's it. The natto battle is over.
You had some setbacks during that 60 minutes. How do you feel?
I wanted some more time, really. I didn't know it would go this fast. I think we made some mistakes at first, failed on some dishes, actually. But I think we did our best, given the conditions here today.
How did your dishes turn out?
Well, let's see, 80, 85%?
Can you win with 85%?
Well, we'll have to see. That's a matter of luck, I think.
Luck?
Yes.
Challenger Ishikawa is offering 4 dishes, having to drop one. First, steamed clams stuffed with natto. The texture combination is the key to this appetizer. Japanese beef with natto soy sauce. The flavor of soy sauce has been condensed here by adding the essence of natto. Fried natto and beefsteak leaves. He removed the sticky threads of the bean, wrapped them in beefsteak leaves, and fried them in yam potato batter, creating a nice texture contrast. Last, tilefish and foie gras in yuba with sweet and sour sauce. The sauce contains natto. Mishap and all, he says his course reached only 70% of its potential. Iron Chef Michiba is offering all 5 dishes from his menu. First, a refreshing appetizer, natto in kudzu starch, with a touch of natto flavor in the starch jelly. Second, natto rolled in flatfish, a second appetizer, perfectly matching soy and wasabi. Simple, yet a profound statement. Natto omelet, using lobster to garnish. After making the omelet, he topped it with sea urchin roe and then steamed the whole thing. Udon noodles with natto miso, cold noodles perfect for summer, rising to Iron Chef standard. His creativity is on display in the rich natto-flavored sauce. Last, for dessert, fried sesame seeds and natto biscuit. He blended natto into the rice flour dough and deep-fried the sesame seed-coated biscuits. Maestro of Cuisine, the highest honor that can be bestowed on a Japanese chef, a rare distinction belonging only to those chefs recognized for their excellence over a 30-year span, including today's challenger, Kuniyuki Ishikawa. An all-Maestro clash coming, Ishikawa taking on Iron Chef Japanese Rokusaburo Michiba. Chairman Kaga unveiling the theme ingredient, so uniquely a Japanese food, so perfect for this battle, it is natto. Taciturn and stern, the challenger delivers 4 dishes, having to dispose of a 5th. Game plan followed to precision, the Iron Chef finishes with a 5-some. And now the moment of truth, hasting in judgment. On the panel today for the Natto Battle are novelist Tamio Kageyama, actress Ritsuko Tanaka, and Rosanjin scholar Masaaki Hirano. First, the dishes of challenger Ishikawa.
First, I thought about the connection of natto and the other ingredients. In other words, I tried to take advantage of the aroma and the flavor of natto in the dishes that I wanted to create here today.
I was thinking this would be overpowering, but it isn't. It's refreshing and very good for summer.
You serve this in a very nice glass. I just thought this would have been perfect if this had been chilled.
Yes, sir. Just as you say, I had that in mind, but I'm sorry, I just kind of ran out of time here.
This is very nice.
Such a sensitive approach. You covered up the natto visually, yet it truly works to reveal itself even when eaten with top-quality Japanese beef if you use it like this.
It has natto in the center.
Good. This is interesting. As you were chewing it, first the yam potato flavor fills my mouth, and then natto appears from the background. Very interesting.
By frying the natto, it is heightened to something noble. This, you know, is very well controlled in volume, and I'm very impressed with the texture and the flavor.
This is not sticky either, and the sauce for this is a masterpiece.
Thank you.
So nice. I'm really enjoying the aroma. It's good.
I understand this way of using natto, but the combination is not as effective as you may have planned. Tilefish and foie gras don't seem to match so well.
And now up the dishes of Iron Chef Michiba.
Interesting texture.
It's sticky,
How do you
more chewy than
describe it?
kudzu jelly.
Yes.
Fun to eat. New discovery, I think.
I chew it, and as I swallow it, it kind of expands.
Yes, the flavor of the natto comes out. Natto wins. You have taken good advantage of all ingredients. It's wrapped in yuba.
Yes,
Good choice.
I was wondering what it was.
Softens the flavor. Without bean curd wrapping, it would have been overpowering.
Natto, you can't pick it up with chopsticks.
Yes. Difficult to eat.
That's what I thought about.
That is so good.
So this one has just a little bit too much natto.
Oh, really?
But it's luxurious dish with the sea urchin roe.
Really, absolutely.
It's unusual to use natto like this, but quite good.
He has combined various cooking techniques. I mean, foreign techniques. The only pure Japanese style is the way of using the lobster.
Is it good?
This miso is also unique. Miso is also made from soybeans.
Yes.
Soybeans working hand in hand, making it a superb miso dip.
You could have included some citrus juice in this. That would have been best. Miso plus natto is too boring. I wanted some kind of stimulating element. This is a great confection. And the sesame seeds are so aromatic. And natto, I'm always impressed with the volume of ingredients. Just the right amount, you know. I'm enjoying this a lot.
Mounds of natto, but this verdict will matter more than just a hill of beans.
昭和5年に発足以来和食の追求を重ねてきた日本料理研究会。今日のお二人の作品はその64年に及ぶ追求の集大成だと言えると思います。まさに究極という言葉にふさわしい味であったと思います。しかしどちらかの師範にとっては厳しい宣告をしなければなりません。それでは発表します。
Today in Kitchen Stadium, the battle was one that had us exploring the very depths of Japanese cuisine with Maestro versus Maestro. Challenger Ishikawa, Iron Chef Michiba. One man shuns the spotlight, the other revels in it. Two master chefs, two distinct characters, but only one can avoid the sour taste of defeat. So who takes it? Whose cuisine reigns supreme?
鉄人道場六三郎
It's the Iron Chef, Michiba, vanquishing his fellow maestro, Ishikawa, going down to defeat the sweet nectar of victory. Michiba's to enjoy today, and he looks like he is enjoying it. But there a slight smile creases the face of Ishikawa. Yet it is the Iron Chef who's the Natto King today, Rokusaburo Michiba.